Well, hi everyone at EVTV. This is John Allen from New York, giving you an update on my car. A lot has happened. I've been very busy with it, so not much time for video making. I've been bottom balancing all the batteries, running them down with my homemade bottom balancer, which has been working really well. I've also been getting all the wiring done up in the front of the car there, and I'm continuing to work on my battery boxes. I've tried to organise the car a lot better the second time round, so that basically I can whip out the few main components and be able to get to the motor, and in the event of having to change the clutch or do any other sort of service to the motor. And so I managed to create a new firewall basically, and everything is fitted onto that, and you're going to see that in a little bit. Also had some fun with some battery box heaters, which I want you to see, and I'm very excited about that, and I'm hoping that's going to work. Other than that, it's going on pretty well. I think I'm on the sort of home leg at this point, and I'm looking forward to wrapping this whole thing up fairly soon. I still have a bit to do at the rear of the car, installing all the last bits and pieces, the charger and the service switch and the Ziva. All of those are going in the back, and that I'll probably get around to that in a week or two. But I'm hoping that it's going to be probably a month or so, and then I'll be on the road. Pretty exciting. Well, I've been making quite a few of these plastic boxes, which are going to be helping keep these sensitive little pieces of electronics safe, especially give them a place when all the wires are connected to them. There's a little potentiometer with tiny little pins. Once I solder wires to this, I want it to be protected. So I've been making a few of these boxes out of this plastic, and this one I'm just about finished. And then I'm going to put it inside the vehicle, where it can be mounted nicely, and all the wires run to it, and keep it protected from the weather and anything hitting it or pulling the wires, etc. So I'm going to be gluing these strips inside here, mounted inside here, so that it gives something for the top, once the top's on, something for the top to rest against. Just need a little bit of this acetone, which works very well. Brush this onto here. Basically this stuff starts to eat it. Let's put a little bit in there and soften up the plastic. Put this in here. And get this spaced. I've got this set so that it spaces it nicely. It gives my exact top thickness. Press it down. You can see that nicely. Some on the other side. That's great. Just let that set. And then I've got to fit the top exactly. It's just a little bit large, but I've got to get that just trimmed slightly. I'm going to use just a normal smoothing plane, a hand plane for woodwork. And I found that works pretty well. This is what it's like, just getting ready. I'm hooking everything up. And I'm trying to get the J1772A VC1 board hooked up. Got my 12-volt power supply here. Got my diagram up here. Battery positive. That's good, and that's going up to that one there. And negative. At about the same length. pilot and my proximity. Okay, proximity. So the pilot's the bottom. Let's just do the pilot first. It's the pilot signal. I've got a couple more to put in. I've got my keyed blue wire for my key, so that goes to the controller. I think I'm going to put that in there to the relay. That's going to go to the relay common and the normally closed. It's going to go there. The car is ever plugged in, the switch will be in the normally opened, and therefore the car won't start, which will be quite a good safety feature, I think. Quite a good safety feature. Let's see now. And the J1772 green ground and chassis. That all seems the same to me. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to have two of those. Well, you can see my potentiometer's up in there, and I can adjust it with a screwdriver right there. And this relay is also going to go inside this box. I've got some 1-inch, some of that 1-inch pink insulation in the bottom, and then 1/2-inch lined on the insides of the box here. It cuts really easily. I'm just using a handsaw and measuring it carefully and popping it in there. And then my batteries will fit in there. Well, actually I've got something else to show you, which is I bought some heaters, electric heaters, that are normally used for under concrete floors or tile floors for radiant heat. And I'm going to try those out. So I'm going to show that to you in a second too. Well, I've got my box all lined here. As you can see, it's all nicely lined with the insulation. And now I've got this mat, which is an electric mat, and it uses about 90 watts and 110 volts. So what I'm planning to do is have this lined in here. I think it's they come in 2 by 3 foot pads, and I'm going to push this down in here and try and figure a way that it's going to fit. Now I might adjust a few things here. You know, I think I could even move the wires to make this fit, custom fitted. But the idea is that I can have one thermostat, which I want to show you, and this can hook up 5 mats, up to 5 mats in here. So I've got 5 battery boxes, and I want to get every single one of them hooked up to this. So this will use, while plugged in and charging at night time, plugged into a 1-cord, 110 volt cord. It'll use about 460 watts if it was on full power. So that's not so bad really. It's about 5 cents an hour or something like that if you're using the green electricity that I'm using, which is 11 cents a kilowatt. It's really not a bad thing. It'll save the batteries and help the car charge up. I might even be able to plug it into the main pack if I needed to. I'm not sure. That I'll have to figure out later. But for now, okay. And the way that regulates the temperature is there's also a In one of the boxes I'll put this heat sensor, which sends a reading back to this. Probably put that into this box over here, which is the box that goes underneath the car and holds 6 batteries, and so that will probably be exposed to more cold than any of the others. So I'll put the thermostat heat sensor in that, and I think that'll be golden, and then it'll just read what's going on in this one and adjust the temperature. So the other ones in the car might get a little warmer, I don't know, but we'll have to see if this works. I want something. I want to be able to use my car all season. So I want to adjust this mat size so it fits in my battery box. I'm going to be cutting it. I've got a mark line lining this up just here on my top here. I'm going to be cutting this whole mat across here. So I have to remove this wire. It's been stitched on onto the fiberglass mat here, and there's a point here where the wire actually gets thicker, and I think this is where the point at which the wire turns cold. So it's cold, all this wire is cold, and then this wire back through the mat is what actually heats up. So I've marked that just so I can make sure that that point remains within the box. I marked it with a Sharpie, and I've done the same over here. It just gets, the wire gets thicker there, which means that the internal sheathing or something is turned back on itself. I'm not sure how they do it. But anyway, and then I've got plenty of wire here, about 12 feet, which will go right back to, from any point of my car back to the thermostat. So I'm going to continue. It's a bit of a laborious job, but I think it'll come off quite easily. There we are. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Just get it back to there, and I'll cut the mat and then figure it all out. They were telling me, this is actually from Warmly Yours. I asked them whether I could use they could make me some mats to do this. And they just said, oh no, you can't do that. Well, of course that immediately made me want to do it all the more. It's not designed for that. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, nothing's really designed for EVs because there aren't any EVs around. So anyway, I went ahead and ordered them anyway. Each mat, which is 2 feet by 3 feet, is about $89. You get them on Amazon. And the thermostat was about $140. And that'll do 5 mats. So it's really not too bad. It's quite hardy wire. It's not. I'm not really worried about cutting through it because it's got a very hard casing on it. Now I know what size mat I have to get it to. Turn like that. Yeah, so that might be better. Like that. Something tricky like that. I suppose the only danger would be that it might get a little hotter there, but it's not going to get too hot. Okay, how do I fix that down? I'm going to drill this hole now for this through fitting. Okay. There we go. The only thing I'm going to have to do is get rid of some of this aluminum stuff around here, just to make sure that that doesn't create a connection. That should do it. As you can see now, I can attach my terminal from here, the negative on the battery, down into this area here, and there's no aluminum foil there in this area now, and that will give me a nice through the wall of this box connection point for my cables on the other side. I'm going to do the other side now. So I've just drilled my hole for my gland nut for all the heater wire, the heater element, the wire for that. I've just got that on there. So that will allow my heater wires to come through. I'm going to feed them through now.